Leather Rokk here. Welcome to my channel. That was Tabby Boy. And summer has already begun. It's hot. I'm taping this on Memorial Day weekend. Oh, I'm melting. You know, like Wicked Witch of the West is melting. I'm melting. Today, I'm going to talk about body piercings. Yeah, I think that time has come for me to give some encouragement to people, especially my male audience members who maybe aren't sure whether some piercings are appropriate for them because they're men. Well, first of all, I never quite understood this whole concept of gender appropriate behavior or images or clothing or jobs or even the nature of masculine and feminine. So much has to do with not just biology, but environment and everybody being different and society having evolved. It's 2019. I would like to think that people are a lot less hung up on gender roles than they used to be. Now, I can't speak for everybody, but even from the time I was a little girl, I was kind of fluid in what I thought was what made sense as far as what males do, what females do. I never understood people being uptight about things like, even when I was a child, I never understood why boys didn't get to wear dresses, whereas girls did. I never really understood people being so rigidly caught up in their gender roles and gender expectations. And as far as the subject of body piercing goes, the whole idea of this body modification culture, which is still kind of a subculture, and out of subcultures is where the whole concept of people kind of marching to the beat of their own drum and people evolving into doing the things, finding things that they're interested in, and it shouldn't be about male or female or what's appropriate for whatever gender. The first exposure I had to exotic piercings, I think I was about 11 years old, and I saw a man who had pierced nipples, and he was, I'm sure, quite an exhibitionist, and it was in a mall. And I was kind of fascinated. And they were not real skinny little rings either. They were really thick, like 00 gauges, something that you probably wouldn't expect a man to be able to have, but he had large nipples so he could handle the thickness of the gauge. And so instead of being repulsed by it, I was kind of fascinated by it. But I didn't see anything like that until I was well into my teens. I didn't get my first exotic piercing until I got my nose piercing, and I got this done when I was in San Francisco. And that's a really good place to get body piercings because you have people who are attracted to that area of the country who have studied from, like the guy that did my nose piercing, he actually studied under the Fakir Musafir. And the person who did my nipple piercings was another decent piercer. And you don't want to go to somebody who doesn't know what they're doing. I would never suggest anybody get a piercing from somebody who was not a piercer. You got to look at body piercing as a form of minor surgery. And so you have to make sure that it's done in a hygienic manner. You want to make sure that the shop has an autoclave, that they are using to sterilize their instruments. It's not a joke. It's not something, it's not like the old days when people would do the pierced ear with a needle and a potato, which is not how my ears got pierced. I actually went to like a piercing pagoda type thing. I snuck. I was 14. That's how I did it. So, but to get body piercings, I definitely suggest that you go to a reputable shop, and I suggest that you get good jewelry. And usually when you're getting jewelry, like when I got my nose ring, which obviously wasn't this, it was a circular, a CBR, captive bead ring. I actually bought the jewelry first, and then I found a shop and then I paid to have the nose ring put into myself. That's how I got my nose pierced. And with my nipple piercings, I went in the shop and I bought the jewelry there and had them in. But but the great thing about getting the navel piercing is that they're so much easier to change out, and most people who are pierced, they change their belly rings probably more than most of their other jewelry. Now, men can get belly rings. There's no reason why a man can't have navel piercings, and in fact, I saw that when I was in Tempe, Arizona, and I saw that in San Francisco, and I saw that some in Los Angeles. I'm sure in most big cities you're going to find pierced people, all walks of life, all colors. It's not about gender. It's not even necessarily your cultural background. All kinds of people are into piercings. So if you need a sign from wherever that it's okay to get piercings, no matter who you are, yeah, go for it. You probably will enjoy it. It's a world of, I think it's quite exciting. The piercing experience should be kind of meaningful. You might even get an endorphin rush out of it. I do recommend that you allow a full year for the healing, no matter what other YouTubers may tell you. Even for something like a facial piercing, which, because there's so much blood flow, they tend to be fairly fast healing. But I recommend allowing a full year. If you do go and get your navel piercing, allow a full year for it to heal before getting new jewelry for it. But please don't let your gender or your cultural background hold you back. If you're interested in getting body piercings, go for it. It's not a masculine thing. It's not a feminine thing. It's not about gender. And I would like to think that we're beyond these tight, constricting gender roles, which make no sense. If you want to do something, you should do it. If it speaks to you, if it speaks to your soul, go for it. Life's too short to deprive yourself of experiences that you're interested in that aren't hurting anybody else. Your body piercings or my body piercings are not bothering other people, so you should definitely go for it. You know, life should be about having fun and having experiences and learning. One of my favorite movie quotes is from Annie Main, the Rosalind Russell version. My favorite quote is, "Life's a banquet, and most poor suckers are starving to death." I really believe that. You should eat good food. You should have experiences. You should make meaningful connections with the people around you. You should treat your plants and animals well, and you should leave the world a better place than you found it. That's how I feel. Alright, now, if you like this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you like me and my content, I'd love to have you subscribe. I make new videos 3 times a week. I usually have 1 or 2 of my cats involved, and I would love to have you along with our adventures. Till then, talk to you soon. Bye.